Today is Adrien Broner official gatekeeper. I know yesterday he fought officially fought Jesse Vargas to a draw. I had to fight at least 3 rounds for Jesse Vargas. You can argue, Adrien Broner closed the gap down the stretch. It made it close because after the seventh round, I seen Jesse Vargas starting to get tired. His punch output started going down, and Adrien Broner was able to, rally a little short comeback. But like always, in the first beginning of the fight, Adrien Broner is getting out hustled. He's getting out punched. He's getting out strategized. He's getting out just everything. And he likes to play. He likes to joke. He was talking to Jesse Vargas and wasn't letting his hands go as usual. And I seen people videos yesterday, and I seen casual boxing talk video, and he was discussing that if Adrien Broner just let his hands go, but we cannot keep on saying we're waiting for Adrien Broner to let his hands go. He is what he is at this point. Yes, he did better in the lower weight classes, but even in the lower weight classes, sometimes even then he wasn't letting his hands go because he's not a volume puncher. And the only way Adrien Broner really is going to let his hands go if you stand in front of him. If you go look at all the guys that moved around and showed him different angles and different movement and used their jab, he didn't throw a lot of punches. So Adrien Broner, people will overlook your flaws as long as you're successful, especially in sports. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're successful, they will overlook your flaws. Even though people will see your flaws, but they will overlook them because they will look at it like, well, he has this flaw, he has that flaw, but he's still winning, so he's able to overcome his flaws. It's not until you start having, until you have, and you know what I'm saying, until you have start having adversity or having losses in your career that people magnify your mishaps or your flaws. But they were always there. Your flaws are always there. It's just that people will not criticize them as much as long as you're winning. And Adrien Broner he always had a problem with letting his hands go. It's just that he was winning in the lower weight classes and dominating those smaller guys that people just didn't say anything. But I was always saying that Adrien Broner is not Floyd Mayweather. He doesn't fight like Mayweather. Broner has been a gate. Yeah, you can say he's been a gatekeeper. I was trying to give Broner the benefit of the doubt, but I said after his loss to Mikey Garcia that he was officially a gatekeeper. I know a lot of people. What's up, man? What's up, Aztec 101? But I know a lot of people out there are still Adrien Broner supporters and are still hoping that Adrien Broner let his hands go. But I'm here to tell y'all, it's the way he fights and the opponents who he fight against. When we seen that really good, his best performance was against Antonio DeMarco. When we seen that, the reason why he let his hands go so much and connected so much is Antonio DeMarco was standing right in front of him. And that's when he has a lot of success. He had a lot of success even yesterday against Jesse Vargas. When Jesse Vargas stood right in front of him, that's when he had his success. And I told people in my breakdown that Kevin Cunningham will be urging Broner to let his hands go about around three. He will be urging him to let his hands go because he would not let his hands go. Because see, Jesse Vargas could have made the fight way easier if he just would have stayed to the outside and used his jab and let his right hand go with his trainer was trying to tell him, let his hands go. McCullen was trying to tell him, body snatcher, which I see some of that in Jesse Vargas. He let his hands go when he was fighting. I said he let his hands go when he was fighting smaller fighters, Adrien Broner. But Jesse Vargas could have made the fight a whole lot easier because he was dominating the first out of the first 6 rounds. He won the first 5 rounds. And the round that I gave Adrien Broner by a little bit because he landed a couple more power shots in that round. But I think Jesse Vargas, got caught up in standing in front of him and trading, which Jesse Vargas did well in those exchanges. It's just he let Broner into the fight. He let Broner get into a rhythm because in the first 6 rounds he was keeping Broner off rhythm. Broner had no rhythm. Kevin Cunningham was hollering at him. Broner just needs confidence. No, you know what Broner need at this point? Broner need to find something else to do because the only thing left for Broner to do is start taking beatings because he's going to start getting into fights. Yeah, they're going to start putting him into fights where, you know what I'm saying, he's going to be fighting better fighters than Jesse Vargas. Now, I never really was that high on Jesse Vargas either. But at least Jesse Vargas got his head on straight. At least Jesse Vargas come in, ready to go mentally, physically. It's going to, give you a show. Adrien Broner does give you a show, but with Adrien Broner, it's more like a clown show. You know what I'm saying? Broner is a bum. Yeah, Broner, I wouldn't call Broner a bum per se. I would just say that he lacks the decorum to be a professional that needs to be on a high level and box at a high level. But Adrien Broner has never been a quote unquote out boxer. He's a in the pocket fighter. That's what Adrien Broner is. He's a guy that fights in the pocket. If you're outside the pocket, that's why he puts his hands in his holster. He don't let his hands go unless you stand in front of him. And like I said, his best performance in his career is that Antonio DeMarco fight because Antonio DeMarco stood right there in front of him. I think I think Adrien Broner trains hard. I think Adrien Broner wants to be good, but I just think Adrien Broner is what he is. I don't think Adrien Broner is as and his life big mouth catches up. Yeah, it does catches up with you, but I don't think Adrien Broner is talented as a lot of people claim he is, or a lot of people want him to be. He is what he is. He's a guy that fights in the pocket very well. He's very limited foot speed wise. He's very limited mentally in the ring. He's not consistent in the ring. See, what separate in any sport, in any endeavor that you do, in any walks of life, what separate people that stay at the top and people that stay disciplined, and in sports, people that are great, they are guys in their profession or whatever they do, they show a level of consistency. That's what separates the great ones from the good ones. Consistency. Yeah, he has good. He has good. He has good stamina. He has good fighters, but an average boxer. Yeah, he's a good counter puncher. That's what Adrien Broner is. By nature, Adrien Broner is a counter puncher. Now he will lead people to believe that he fights like Floyd Mayweather. No, he doesn't. He fights nothing like Floyd Mayweather. Not even any part of Mayweather's career does he fight like Floyd Mayweather. The only thing he got like Floyd Mayweather is they both got in common. They got quick twitch muscles and fast hands. That's it. He doesn't move around the ring like Floyd. He doesn't have defense like Floyd. Yesterday he was getting hit by every jab that Jesse Vargas threw. Jesse Vargas was hitting him with every jab. I think it's mentally with him. He can't. No, he can't be great. He can't. No, he cannot be great. No, at this stage of his career, he is what he is. Your muscle memory dictates what you do, even from an infant on up. If you teach a baby, you know what I'm saying, discipline when they're young, they're going to have a form of discipline when they get older. It's like a boxer. When you take a boxer when he first comes into the gym, if you show him all the fundamentals that he needs to have, he's going to carry those fundamentals throughout his career. If you don't show him the fundamentals, he will not carry those. He will not just pick up those fundamentals in just 6 months or being with a new trainer. Now, he moved to Kevin Cunningham. I seen no difference in the way he fought. I seen no different wrinkles or anything like that. Now, Kevin Cunningham was able to, as he yelled at him 5 and 6 rounds straight for him to let his hands go so he can be able to get a draw. That's what he was able to get. He was able to get that draw because Kevin Cunningham kept yelling at him to let his hands go. When I told everybody in my breakdown, Expect Kevin Cunningham to be yelling at him to let his hands go as usual. So by him getting Kevin Cunningham, it was no different than him having Mike Stafford in his corner. There was no wrinkles. He didn't do anything different. He didn't move around the ring. He tried to stay in the pocket. He's one dimensional, and that's when people say, "Oh, he'll beat this fighter. He beat that fighter." No, he will get destroyed. Danny Garcia will destroy Adrien Broner. Keith Thurman will destroy Adrien Broner. Earl Spence will destroy Adrien Broner. You cannot stand in front of those punchers like that and expect to not get hurt. Oh yeah, he asked for trouble because Adrien Broner wants to be a celebrity. But what he don't understand is being a being a recognized quote unquote good fighter is what got him to celebrity. So he wants to abandon the principles of being a great, trying to pursue being a great fighter, and he wants to pursue being a celebrity. He wants to be a rapper or whatever he wants to be. He's not a B, he's a C game. Hey, he may be. But I would say Adrien Broner at this stage of his career, he's a B minus fighter. I give him a B minus fighter because he can still beat certain guys like them Adrian Granados and Emmanuel Taylors and guys like that. He could beat those guys. But what showed me is now I'm not really that high on Jesse Vargas either because they both stepped up in competition and they did not. Neither one of the guys, what I'm saying, beat any of the good fighters they stepped up against. You know, Sean Porter, Mikey Garcia, and Maidana was the hurdles that Broner couldn't get over when he wanted to step up. And Timothy Bradley and Manny Pacquiao was the hurdles that Vargas tried to get over. He couldn't get over. Ohio and Floyd thing seems Floyd just like AB around AB thought. Floyd really never. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Floyd never really liked Adrien Broner. No, Floyd never really liked Adrien Broner. Floyd just like Adrien Broner around as like just like a pet, just like a dog, because he knows Adrien Broner is so infatuated with him, and Adrien Broner is going to feed his ego every step of the way, and that's why. Yeah, Floyd never really liked Adrien Broner. Okay, if Floyd really liked him, why after he lost was it the after he lost the Sean Porter fight, why did he go and put his hands around Earl Spence and say Earl Spence is the next guy that's gonna take the torch? When clearly Adrien Broner has been vying for that torch, that Mayweather torch. Why did he do that? Because he didn't want to associate himself with a loser, and he knew that Adrien Broner was undisciplined. These fighters try to take the stupid stuff that Mayweather does instead of the things that Mayweather does great, like train, ready, and be ready mentally and physically. See, Mayweather can clown outside the ring, but when Mayweather gets inside the ring, it's a different story. He sticks to the game plan. He's consistent. He's mentally sharp in there. Say what you want to say about Mayweather. I I'm not a guy that likes Mayweather's second half of his career after he beat De La Hoya. I just thought that was a Mayweather that just wanted to make money and didn't really want to challenge himself. So I really wasn't a fan of the second half of Mayweather's career. But what I am a fan of Mayweather is his work ethic and his willingness to come in the ring and be all about business and leave the clowning outside of the ring. See, Broner brings the clowning inside of the ring. He doesn't know how to separate the two. So, he's not a three-dimensional thinker. He's a two-dimensional thinker. He gets up at 5 a.m. each day, Mayweather. Yeah. Yeah, he does because he tried to instill that in Broner, but Broner don't want that. Broner wants, see, this is what Broner wants, and this now I don't like talking about different generations that much, but you get to this generation and they just want the fruits and not the labor. They don't want to do the labor. They just want the fruits. And he just wanted the fruit of what Mayweather had. He didn't want to do the labor. He didn't want to do the hard work. Like when Mayweather say hard work and dedication, that man put in hard work. Now that man, say what you want to say about Mayweather, he respects and goes after his craft. Seems like Broner wants to have a rivalry with Mexico. I mean, how can you have a rivalry with Mexico if you losing You know what I'm saying? You losing or drawing with Mexican fighters. I mean, I don't know, but Adrian Broner, I believe Adrian Broner I believe Adrian Broner is a gatekeeper at this point, man. I think Al Heyman them. I think Al Heyman. See, they had a plan for Adrian Broner. See, the plan for Adrian Broner was supposed to take over after Floyd Mayweather. That was the plan. And when he fought, when he moved up 2 weight classes from 135 to fight Paulie, that was a strategic move. That was a strategic move for him to fight Paulie. He was supposed to do to Paulie what he did to Antonio DeMarco. Paulie was supposed to be his Gotti moment. And then they were going to put him on pay-per-view the next fight. Because he had a subpar performance against Paulie Malignaggi, they could not put him on pay-per-view with that performance. And then a lot of people that liked Adrian Broner was making excuses for Adrian Broner, saying, "Oh, he moved 2 weight classes. That's why he struggled versus Paulie." Paulie is a career 135 at best 140-pound fighter himself. The reason why they fought Paulie is because Paulie was the easier fight at 147. Otherwise, he would have fought Pacquiao, or he would have fought Mayweather, who I always thought Broner should have challenged Mayweather in the media when he was hot. He should have He should have challenged Mayweather in the media. Instead, why would you want to? I'm gonna tell you about a guy that I know that is not even a king in his own mind. Sometimes people can have a delusional about themselves, and he didn't even have a delusional about himself. He was calling himself Mayweather's little brother, and they both compete in the same weight class. It's not like Mayweather was a heavyweight. Now, if Mayweather was a heavyweight and you saying you Mayweather's little brother, okay, because y'all never fight each other. But y'all in the same weight class. Then you pick up a belt in his weight class, you still calling yourself his understudy. Why is that? No, what you're supposed to be saying is, Mayweather, I'm coming after you. I want to. Now, he called himself about billions, right? Okay, the only way you're going to be on a fast track or on that track of trying to get a billion, quote unquote, you have to beat the man that's right there in front of you that he is making almost a billion, that made a half a billion. You got to go beat that man. You can't be calling yourself that man's little brother. Ain't nobody gonna respect you. I stopped respecting him. I stopped respecting Adrian Broner when he was doing all that. He's Mayweather's little brother. That's not how a king thinks. A king doesn't think that he's somebody's little prince. No, he wants to be the king. He don't want to be the prince. He wants to be the king. And Adrian Broner, he did not want to be the king. He was content on being the prince to Mayweather's king. So he was hoping that when Mayweather fall off, that Mayweather was going to get him the crown. But Mayweather never really wanted to get him the crown because Mayweather knew about him. Mayweather knew that he was not disciplined, and Mayweather knew it was only time before he was going to lose, and he was going to lose in embarrassing fashion that he did against Marcus Maidana. And he never recovered after that Marcus Maidana fight. I don't care what nobody say. He never recovered off that fight, and mentally, he's always going to be crushed over that fight because he tried to do the same thing Mayweather tried to do. He tried to promote his old, him being undefeated. That's what he tried to promote. He tried to promote being undefeated. He's not here. He's gone. He's gone with his mama. They gone somewhere. So he tried to promote being undefeated, and when he got defeated, you can't promote it no more. See, that's why a lot of these fighters mentally. That's why Danny Garcia is mentally messed up the way he is, because he tried to promote his O, and when he got beat by Keith Thurman, he admitted that he was depressed. So, like I said, I think Adrian Broner is a gatekeeper. Can he possibly grab a title if he moved back down to 140? He possibly can. I don't see him grabbing no title at 147 no time soon, because now you got my guy Terrence Crawford moved into the division. You had Thurman and Garcia draw. I didn't have Thurman and Garcia draw. I had Thurman winning that fight by. I had Thurman winning 8-4. I thought Garcia had four good rounds, and that was the later rounds when Keith Thurman started moving around and stopped really fighting. That's what I think about that fight. But I think Adrian Broner is the gatekeeper. But we'll see. We'll see if they run it back. Was very lightweight. But we'll see if they run it back. They should run it back. They should go ahead and run it back and see who, you know what I'm saying? Because the draw, come on, man. I didn't think it was a draw. I thought Jesse Vargas won by at least 2 rounds, 3 rounds. But Crawford seems a much more round. Yeah, Crawford is. I told everybody a couple years ago. I had a discussion, and I said Crawford is bigger than what y'all think he is. He has the same dimensions as Floyd Mayweather. He has the same exact, almost the same exact arm length. He's tall. He's actually taller than Mayweather. He has the same body type that Mayweather has. That long, strong, long muscle body. You can't look at a guy and be like, "Oh, he's skinny, so he's not strong." No, because I know a lot of guys that skinny strong. When I was thinner growing up, I was skinny strong. Are you from the UK? Oh, cool. What's up, man? You from the UK? How did you find my channel? I haven't seen you on none of my lives before. But it's cool, man. Hey, you welcome. Hey, bring more UK people in, because one thing about the UK, they love their boxing, man. They love their boxing, and I respect UK guys. Well, I try to give good content and talk about boxing from my point of view, from my angle. So yeah, but I told people that Crawford, when he come to 147, that he's gonna win. He's gonna be undisputed at 147. Oh no, he's too small for 147. I said, okay. Come to find out, when he go to 140, then everybody started saying, man, I think he could do something at 147. And then, he was undisputed at 140. And now he's finna fight Jeff Horn. Jeff Horn is not a pushover. Jeff Horn can fight. Jeff Horn. See, to me, this Jeff Horn fight is perfect fight for Crawford being introduced to the welterweight division, because not Crawford, but Jeff Horn is going to do a couple things for Crawford. He's going to show him how physically, how physical the guys are at 147 that he's going to have to fight, like the Sean Porters and guys like that. And he's going to show him he's going to test Crawford mentally, because he's going to be right there, and Crawford is going to have to deal with him. You know what I'm saying? And Jeff Horn is not a pushover by no means. He's a very physical, taxing fighter. He's more like out of the mold of a Sean Porter. Horn did not deserve a MGM Vegas show. Well, he beat Pacquiao. Did I think Pacquiao won the fight? I thought Pacquiao probably could have won the fight by at least 2 rounds. But Pacquiao, Pacquiao wasn't really the Pacquiao I'm used to seeing in that fight. Pacquiao was kind of sloppy in that fight. And Jeff Horn made that fight ugly. He made the fight ugly. And one thing about Pacquiao, although Pacquiao is a strong puncher, Pacquiao is not a physical fighter. It could have been stopped. It could have been stopped because the referee went to the corner and told him, you got to show me something. But he ain't stopped the fight. But Pacquiao, although Pacquiao is a strong puncher, Pacquiao is not a physical fighter by no means. And that was the first time that Pacquiao really fought somebody that was real physical on him. That made him feel their body. He you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out the guys that Pacquiao fought that they were real physical with him. I can't figure out any. Maybe to a degree, maybe Bradley, maybe. But even Bradley wasn't really that physical with him. And Jeff Horn was, physical. He was physical. He was grabbing Pacquiao, pushing him up against the ropes, hitting him low and hitting him in the legs, hitting him in the back, the arms, whatever. And then wore Pacquiao down. Pacquiao is a small dude, man. Pacquiao is small. He's smaller than Mayweather, and Mayweather is small. But, yeah. Bradley was at Broner fight. Bradley hates Broner. Oh, Bradley hates Broner? I didn't know Bradley hated Broner. I never even heard Bradley really comment on Broner. Oh, the only time I heard Bradley he did comment on Broner. He said Broner will be a tune-up for him. Yeah, I remember him saying that. He said if he wanted to make a comeback, he would make a comeback versus Broner. He said Broner is like a tune-up for him. I do remember him saying that, and I do remember Broner saying something back. I don't remember what Broner said, but he did say something back to him. But I don't remember what he said exactly. That is, yeah, Broner is a tune-up. Broner is a tune-up. I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. There's a lot of people that don't like it, man. A lot of people that's still holding out hope that Broner gonna let his hands go. And there's still people out there, man. Hey, Broner is not gonna let his hands go. He is what he is. At this point in Broner's career, the muscle memory is not gonna really change. Cunningham, he can give him little wrinkles. I think he was schooled by Manny for fun. I think at this point you can probably teach Broner some wrinkles here and there, but he's not really going to change as an overall fighter because when he gets in an adverse situation, he's gonna revert back to what he know, and that's standing in front of you, trying to pop shot you, trying to counter punch you. That's what he is. So, like I said, and I want to talk about the other fights. The Charlo brother, he had an impressive knockout. He had an impressive knockout. The Charlo brother. I want to see the Charlo brother either get the GGG fight, or fight Andrade, or fight Danny Jacobs. That's what I want to see. Charlo fight. Who would you want to see Charlo fight next? Or even, I mean, I know Mayweather said he want Gervonta Davis to fight Lomachenko, but Gervonta Davis is not ready for Lomachenko. Lomachenko will make him quit. At this point, Charlo will be avoided. Yeah, I mean, I think Andrade will fight him. Hurd wants none of that beef. No, 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 no. I'm gonna tell you one thing about Hurd. I'm gonna tell you one thing I've seen about Hurd. I'm seeing a lot of people that like the Charlos being very nervous of Hurd. I'm seeing a lot of people that like the Charlos being very nervous of Hurd of late. Because last year, nobody was nervous of Hurd. Like, I seen some of Hurd's fights last year, but I really wasn't, up on Hurd like that. I just, I'm like, yeah, he's a decent fighter. But I'm gonna see more. I'm gonna tell you one thing about Hurd. You got to deal with Hurd. You got to deal with Hurd, and Hurd is big for this 154-pound division. I'm looking at Hurd dimensions. I'm looking at Hurd. I'm looking at how Hurd is built. Hurd could easily fight at 168 if he wanted to. I think he's going to be a big 160 pounder. He's going to be a big 160 pounder. I don't know how this man is making 154. But I looked at it. I look at his dimensions. He got a real tiny waist. So that's probably why. I'm choosing Hurd to beat the Charlo, even though this is the Charlo at 154 is the Charlo that I like the best. But I'm picking Hurd to beat him. Because one thing about Hurd, mentally, see, one thing people don't understand about boxing, when you got two good fighters or two great fighters, it comes down to mental. Your mental. And Hurd puts so much mental pressure on you. Because his mental pressure is if the Charlo doesn't hurt him, if he don't show that he can hurt him, it's gonna be a long day for the Charlo, man, because that mental pressure, Hurd always gonna be in front of you. And one thing I learned from my experience in boxing, because I used to box a little bit, when a guy is in front of you, and Hurd is about 6'2", I think Hurd is about 6'2". I think that Charlo brother is like about 5'11". When a guy is taller than you, and he's constantly in your face, and you feel like you got to do something, it puts mental pressure on you. It puts a lot of mental pressure on you, and mental pressure wears you down in sports. Like, you could be in the best shape of your life. If you succumb to the mental pressure, it will sap your energy little by little by little by little. And another thing about Hurd, he goes to the body very well. He digs to your body. And that's another thing. He wears you down to the body. So, I mean, to me, it's a really good fight. The Charlo brother, he would have to go back to his old self of moving. You know what I'm saying? Moving around, boxing, because that's how he used to do when he was before he got with Derek James. Now he's all of a sudden turned into this puncher. Now that he with Derek James, I hope he don't become one dimensional and just try to be a guy that just wanna look for the knockout. He has to use all his attributes when he fight Hurd. All his attributes he got to use when he fight Hurd. It's a 50-50 fight, but I'm going with Hurd. I'm going on the side of Hurd. And because Hurd said he wants to try to get all the belts at 154. If not, he's gonna go to 160 after he gets this second belt. So, and 160 better be worried about Hurd. So I'm gonna say this. I want to see Charlo fight either Andrade, Danny Jacobs, or Hurd. Those are only three people I really want to see him fight. And Gervonta Davis, I want to see him still, study getting put in there with better fighters. Because the guys so far the guys that Gervonta Davis fought, I don't even know nothing about these dudes. I don't know nothing about. It's good that he had a great performance. He knocked the guy out, stopped the guy, but I don't know none of these dudes. Oh, Billy Joe. Oh, I forgot about Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders is a problem for anybody at 160, including Hurd. Now, that will be a guy who I would say can probably befuddle Hurd. Billy Joe Saunders is a craftsman up in that ring, man. He's a craftsman in that ring. He's a problem for Triple G. I know what he said about Triple G a couple years ago, and I don't like the way fighters talk like that. Some guy can beat him and another guy in the same day, but he's a problem for Triple G. He's a problem for Canelo. He's a problem for that Charlo that's up there. He's a problem for Danny Jacobs. So he's a problem for a lot of guys at 160. I don't think he fight like Mayweather. He got way more output than Mayweather. He has more output than Floyd Mayweather. I don't think he fights like Floyd Mayweather. He may fight a little bit like Mayweather with Mayweather in the first half of his career, not the second half of his career. But I think Billy Joe Saunders is more more busier in the ring, more punch output. But I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I'm gonna get into this NBA playoff, these NBA playoffs, and look at me a couple games. But hey, I'll be back with another live. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably have one tomorrow, or maybe one later, if the games get kind of boring. But hey, man, thanks for coming to the channel. What's your name again? Let me see your name again, because it's my first time seeing you in my live. This is my first time seeing you even comment on any one of my videos. Gentleman boxer. Okay. Okay. All right, man. But do you have a YouTube channel? Cause I'll subscribe if you got a YouTube channel. And tell the people in the UK about my channel, man. Promote the channel. Share the videos. Share the videos and tell the UK fans, or the guys that got, channels in the YouTube community. Not yet, just started my YouTube experience. Oh, okay. Cool. Cool. All right. All right. Just get on and just start talking, man. That's what I'm saying. That's what I started doing like 4 years ago.